Hi, kindergartners. Welcome back to chapter 22 of The Wizard of Oz. We're almost done with the book, and this week is actually Wizard of Oz week in our classroom. So I know most of you have now watched the movie. So I saved these chapters till the very end, sort of so you could see the differences between the movie and the book. The book is very different the way it ends. So here we go. Let's get into it. This chapter is called The Country of the Quadlings. And remember, when we last left our friends, the lion had just become king of the forest, but he wants to continue on with Dorothy to meet Glinda, the Witch of the South. Now remember, in the book, Glinda, the Witch of the South, lives in the South. In the movie, Glinda is the Witch of the North, so that's a difference. And then look at the Witch of the South area. That's the country of the Quadlings, and it's all red on your map. So that's where our other good witch lives. The travelers passed through the rest of the forest in safety, and when they came out from its gloom, they saw before them a steep hill, covered from top to bottom with great pieces of rock. "Well, this will be hard to climb," said the Scarecrow, "but we must get over the hill nonetheless." So he led the way and the others followed. They had nearly reached the first rock when they heard a rough voice cry out, "Keep back!" "Who are you?" asked the Scarecrow. Then a head showed itself over the rock, and the same voice said, "This hill belongs to us, and we don't allow anyone to cross it." "Well, we must cross it," said the Scarecrow. "We're going to the country of the Quadlings." "But you shall not," replied the voice, and there stepped from behind the rock the strangest man the travelers had ever seen. He was short and stout, and he had a big head which was flat on the top and supported by a big, thick neck full of wrinkles. But he had no arms at all, and so seeing this, the Scarecrow did not feel that so helpless a creature could prevent them from climbing the hill. So he said, "Well, I'm sorry not to do as you wish, but we must pass over your hill, whether you like it or not." And he walked boldly forward. Suddenly, as quick as lightning, the man's head shot forward and his neck stretched out until the top of his head, where it was flat, hit the Scarecrow right in the middle and sent him tumbling over and over down the hill. Almost as quickly as his head had shot out, it went back to his body, and the man laughed harshly and said, "It isn't as easy as you think." So this is what this strange creature looks like. And basically, he can shoot his head, and his head can ram into something, and then it goes back into his neck. Very strange, and causes a big problem for our travelers. A chorus of boisterous laughter came from all the other rocks, and suddenly Dorothy saw hundreds of armless hammerheads on the hillside, one behind every rock. The lion became quite angry at this laughter caused by the Scarecrow's mishap, and giving a loud roar that echoed like thunder, he went dashing up the hill. Again, one of the hammerheads' heads shot out swiftly, and the great lion went rolling down the hill as if he had been struck by a cannonball. Dorothy ran down and helped the Scarecrow to his feet, and the lion came up to her feeling rather bruised and sore and said, "Well, it's useless to fight people with these shooting heads. No one can withstand them." "Oh, well, what can we do then?" she asked. "How about call the winged monkeys?" suggested the Tin Woodman. "You have the right to command them once more." "Very well," she answered, and putting on the golden cap, she uttered the magic words. The monkeys were as prompt as ever, and in a few moments the entire band stood before her. "What are your commands?" inquired the King of the Monkeys, bowing low. "Please carry us over the hill to the country of the Quadlings," answered the girl. "It shall be done," said the king. And all at once the winged monkeys caught the four travelers and Toto up in their arms and flew away with them. As they passed over the hill, the hammerheads yelled with vexation, and they shot their heads up high in the air. But they couldn't reach the winged monkeys, which carried Dorothy and her comrades safely over the hill and set them down in the beautiful country of the Quadlings. "This is the last time you can summon us," said the leader to Dorothy. "So goodbye and good luck to you." Oh boy, this is a good picture. So those are the hammerheads. Definitely not in the movie. "Oh, goodbye, and thank you very much," returned the girl. And the monkeys rose into the air and were out of sight in a twinkling. The country of the Quadlings seemed rich and happy. There was field upon field of rippling grain, with well-paved roads running between, and pretty rippling brooks with strong bridges across them. The fences and houses and bridges were all painted bright red, just as they had been painted yellow in the country of the Winkies and blue in the country of the Munchkins. The Quadlings themselves, who were short and fat and looked chubby and good-natured, were dressed all in red, which shone bright against the green grass and the yellow grain. The monkeys had set them down near a farmhouse, and the four travelers walked up to it and knocked at the door. It was opened by the farmer's wife, and when Dorothy asked for something to eat, the woman gave all of them a good dinner with 3 kinds of cake, 4 kinds of cookies, and a bowl of milk for Toto. "How far is it to the castle of Glinda?" asked the child. "Oh, it's not a great way at all," answered the farmer's wife. "Take the road to the south and you'll soon reach it." Thanking the good woman, they started afresh and walked by the fields and across the pretty bridges until they saw before them a very beautiful castle. Before the gates were 3 young girls, dressed in handsome red uniforms, trimmed with gold braids. And as Dorothy approached one of them, she said to her, "Why have you come to our South Country?" "Well, I'd like to see the good witch who rules here," Dorothy answered. "Will you please take me to her?" "Well, let me have your name, and I will ask Glinda if she will receive you." They told who they were. The girl soldier went into the red castle, and a few minutes later she came back to say that Dorothy and the others were to be admitted at once. And here is a picture of the country of the Quadlings. Doesn't that just look beautiful? It looks like it's out of a fairy tale. It reminds me of something you might see in like Beauty and the Beast or Sleeping Beauty. Just gorgeous with the brooks and the flowers. And there are the 3 girls who stand outside of the castle. And so in this chapter, we basically met the hammerheads. And in the picture book, there's a really great picture of the hammerheads, I do believe. Here they are. They look very different from the other storybook I'm reading you. And here, of course, they are being carried by the winged monkeys. That was the last time they could ask the winged monkeys for help. And so the charm of the golden cap no longer will work for Dorothy unless she gives it to somebody else. And now finally, we are at Glinda's castle. So come back to read chapter 23 with me, which is The Good Witch Grants Dorothy's Wish. All right, little munchkins, there's no place like home. Bye.